Alright, Abusunya, Yabemo Bibia Kwaba, Slonkoso, aba number 1 political channel, POG Media, Smasho, say Afe and Asawaba, or like and was subscribe and I've insert my share, Jumedino, I'm off from Sunsa, Etumi, Aka. And please, kindly click on the notification button so I'm a brand any political updates be at the better channel, Nusubiano, also on San Etumi, Aka, and wash and I've insert some such a wagony. Afe Yambo Ryan Semnum and Fansam Dodona. Embreo suspended Chief Justice Torkonos ne lawyer say Ujina Muman wo court. Attorney General as a former Attorney General Godfred Odame Abusunya ne ho akwa kedwe ma say Akuffo bi etima petition General Legal Council mo say ade a Godfred Dame ne ho bon anase criminalities be a born and huntia yadi or mon friend no monye investigation na say I was here prosecuting in the jail near jail na Busunya and some akoso highway no and some no ano ede na petition no say and e can say General Legal Council petition to sanction former Attorney General Godfred Dame over alleged witness tampering in Richard Dakwa case Busunya and sama akosono ano eden lawyer ojinam ematokonu Abusunya ono so ho aka ya petition General Legal Council omoche say criminalities bia and as crimes bia Richard Japa involving in whom no ade wo say investigations about bontina chese mbra ene ne dia man no ehu ba bi kra odwane akwakote ntimi waste time kra no mepesem ba mi akone akwakoti ensem no mu bi na nsa na bekono ma show so wansem kai bia na wo be share in comment section wala like share dwumadi no ma foforo nsa into me enkabi medamasi.
Godfred Dame was caught on tape. Ťr0uble so. You were the Chief Justice. He was the Attorney General. You, Torkonos, you want to come and talk about politics. Who is political than you? Godfred Dame, who used to be the Attorney General and you being the CJ, he was caught on tape. Asema na ewo court. Na ode asem na akosi judge kulendi fie. Na wafre omo asem for mo no ewo fie ho na o discuss asem no. At a point, he was bribing people to say things in court. Senye beya, the assembly will go in favor of NPP. Torkonos, the whole Ghana told you that Godfred Dame as an Attorney General, he needs to be cautioned. You sat in the Supreme Court and spat at us. Your disrespect and arrogance. The rule of law, you turned it into diaper. You turned it into pampers. You turned it into sanitary pad. You were using it like every month. These people. Justice Ťr0uble Odinidin Koma Akuffo on Supreme Court. What credentials na Ťr0uble wa? I said to Supreme Court. All because Ťr0uble he did what? He jailed NCA people who were appointees of NDC. Judge, her ladyship Pamela Sarah Cynthia. This same woman who used to be the judicial secretary, the woman you connive with to give your daughter almost $5 billion a cedi's contract. This woman, secretary to the judiciary, you gave her name to Akuffo to make her a Supreme Court judge. Torkonos, Adole. This woman, Justice Efia Sewa Sare, when Godfred Dame, time atofos in case riba ya jakpa. Yen you catch the Ghana for a catcher will say you are the Chief Justice morally. What has happened? Godfred Dame behind the scenes with evidence. Yen you who say or chatty a subject. He is organizing meetings. We told you this judge change her keke. Now morally yen who say uniminyansa udi Ghana so. You told us we are stupid. These people, you lined them up in 2024, gave them to Akuffo to move them to Supreme Court. Are you not political? You think we are stupid? We forget easily? You think we don't think? You think we don't want to protect the judiciary? The people that were working for the NPP, you were championing their cause. Today you are talking about politics. We are talking about constitutionality. We are talking about a constitutional matter. You are talking about political matter. Where is the politics? What are you talking about, Adole? Adole Torkonos, what are you talking about? Because of unity, you change the constitution, you can't some no TV so. Now what are your constitution? You yourself, I'm asking you, Do you think you are a Ghanaian? What proves that you are a Ghanaian? You could not even define who is a Ghanaian. Who a Ghanaian is. You want us to touch the constitution. These are things you people do. The disrespect. You people connive with politicians. You break the neck of the law to favor your friends and family who are in politics. These people, these 3 judges out of the 5, you were moving them to the Supreme Court all because they did some good job you thought to you. You were satisfied. We the people, every moral Ghanaian realized that what these people were doing was wrong. But you said we are stupid. Adole. Adole, at Torkonos, you are depressed. I think you feel too important. Maybe at home, you feel too important at home. Mellow yourself. Go into the shower. Be in so to wig, you know. Nebusa on say na me ya wine. Raw ho jawo ho. Ye Braziano, raw dross. Na you wig, na gina shower say. Nebusa say, who am I? Unyo bia. You need to mellow before the constitution. You are not bigger than anybody. Your arrogance is too much. You make Ghanaians think, say, Obasi Adjin say, without you, we as a people, we cannot move. Ťr0uble advised you when he stood before you and you disrespected him because of Akuffo. Ťr0uble told you something. You felt power was in your reach. You thought you could abuse power. You disrespected every single person who came before you. Your body language. You made Ghanaians feel you were some God, but you are nothing. We can make you God. And we have seen your actions. We lived with you all these years. We know you are not qualified. You don't have to lead our judiciary. If you have self-respect, Addo Torkonos, you should have resigned a long time. Because there's nothing about you that the younger generation that want to get into judiciary should learn. What? You sat in the courts to give your daughter almost 5 billion contract. Why should we, as Ghanaians, give you any room? Arrogance. The arrogance. Yet here and there, as we speak, your lawyer who is defending you in court, Godfred, is a subject of investigations. And here, the General Legal Counsel, has been petitioned to look into the conduct of Godfred. You, a thief, is your lawyer. Madam Torkonos, a thief, a criminal lawyer, somebody who basically chats with subjects. It makes him a criminal. An attorney general who goes behind the scenes, meets subjects in a judge's house to discuss a pending matter. Today, your lawyer, Torkonos, your lawyer, is a thief who is under investigation. A petition had been filed at the General Legal Counsel. And how do you expect people, Ghana, to respect you? Your lawyer now, Akuffo, no. Attorney General Akuffo, and kwasiadia oye no, and your petition General Legal Counsel. Any country be a serious, he needs to be this bad. Adia oye they been serious da. Adia Godfred during Atoforce and Jakpa case, no. We saw text messages, we heard audios, we saw evidence of a criminal attorney general. We sat in Ghana. You sat there and you did not utter a word. All because you thought the NPP is a party that was going to rule for 100 years. Today, our Chief Justice, your lawyer, is seen as a criminal. He's being treated as a criminal because of your arrogance. Resign and save your family from this disgrace. Arrogance. Torkonos, remember your beginnings. That is not how you were trained. Sika eni bre. Power. Small power. What they intimidate ukunu, intimidate fear. So you feel, say, when that power is taken, you will commit suicide. Adole, then you will commit suicide. Because if this power was nothing to you, you would have let it go. You would have let it go. Like a long time come and call. But because you know without you being Chief Justice, you are nothing, even in your home. That is why you are still holding on to straw. Oh, nice. When Madam Torkonos wako jina court, catch Ghana for you say, when meeting. I'm like, are Are we mad as a people? And a whole Chief Justice goes to court and says, on penny ma committee na Ghana Constitution ashe me atino penny mo so adentra. There's people on the committee they were at this restaurant in tea. Na adwini mu no ohun se na mo bo ne ho po. Like this is where we are. This is total destruction. Where the woman has no case. She is scared to meet the committee. She knows she has committed crimes, not a crime, crimes that she needs to answer to.
All right, Abushia, it is 7 movie and echo tina chese. Attorney General, former Attorney General Godfred Dame Abushia, ya petition General Legal Council. Chese omoche say Godfred Dame ne hobon criminalities bi muti was investigations jumana chese embra enenetimi edi na Abushia Kevin Taylor editwa so ha o chese getu Torkonos mamia ende ya suspended the Chief Justice maame no enya lawyer bia amfa ne so nkana asema ne say criminal Godfred Dame na maami etimi efa ne say onginam enkana asema na chese exposure Kevin Taylor ayafa Godfred Dame chese Torkonos hono enye expose ketwa wachile ekwanya enam sunti krampa Chief Justice upon all the lawyers no Godfred Dame chese otimi chusu ni so ongina case ni mana chese ensema Kevin Taylor progu no abusua ano ede ni timba pese mbami akona yakoti Kevin Bedu Taylor na ensema odeto aso
inti the whole Chief Justice no suspended CJ Torkonos through her lawyer Godfred Dame into Tio. Chief Justice way Akuffo Godfred Dame send a lawyer. Now ende our court no Godfred Dame na oya Attorney General in the government that brought her. Suddenly or shockingly or surprisingly Torkonos morally when your lawyer Bia or Ghana say that Attorney General that we were talking say she was favoring the Attorney General, helping the Attorney General, conniving with the executive and Attorney General, jailing people politically. This woman morally could not move away from that assertion to go get somebody to be her lawyer. When your lawyer Bia or Ghana say, then Nana Adodankwa Akuffo lawyer, Godfred Dame na yen lawyer or the Jina court. Like Jesus Christ. Obia ye Torkonos drana. Ana Torkonos on Ferriadie. Torkonos ni age ni na umudi 17-18 na neighborhood ya from abena uhubon die amon Ferriadie. Torkonos is not shy of anything. She's not embarrassed. Torkonos me assure say time I know this 17-18 in neighborhood no na your friend abena uhubon die because the issue is you should be even ashamed. Morally, you are not even supposed to go back and bring Godfred Dame. But you know what hurts? It is the rationale behind what they are trying to do. They are forcing us to think, say, Madam Torkonos, into what she wants is what we have to do. That is what I hate about what is happening. The former Chief Justice Torkonos is disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Her body language, her posture, that attitude that she's entitled to something that she's not entitled to. That idea that it is me and that the law cannot apply. That is what shocks me about this whole concept happening. Because Madam Torkonos at this point is trying to tell us, say, na semina abano, say, udi wo mu kwa dia birthday party kura men kobi. Men kwe ye. Men kwa wedding. As far as onwakodi na semina yedna bejina committee no, the moment aka committee no men didi wa bontene because if it was a wedding or a funeral and anke ko hu nkofo we wa asia anka die ne beka. So right now the lawyers or people who are involved in this case, they cannot meet as human beings anywhere. To Godfred Dame and get to Torkonos, that is how they see it. So it's a sense of entitlement. It is me. So nobody should go out and eat. It is me. So as far as your name is in there, you cannot meet anybody and have a conversation. It is me. That entitlement mentality. A man draws my ding. But this woman, if she's making that argument today, say, oh, today, nipebiti aya committee ni so. Nipebiti committee ni so. And CCTV ehun so oma ko share restaurant omu kom baby no go share as far as the nipa bi eka committee no no ono madam Torkonos hu ni say their judgment. In fact, Torkonos call court no. She raised some issues. Interlocutory injunction and open. Or see, judge will say Mr. Puaman. Or see, oh, time na or no a Supreme Court judge no, Chief Justice no, a former Chief Justice way. Or see, oh, some people try to take him out by petitioning the Chief Justice. Enti saa de no wo papanity ohuni say Puaman na ote committee ni so no automatically no na adwiri mu no Puaman pe na asem ti Puaman be pam no. Puaman will help the committee to sack her. That is her idea. So she's prejudging everything. She already has an idea about everyone because in her brains no or say Puaman etme pia bontra ko hu other lawyers. It's your restaurateur. And the Chempo say Puaman asem no on demand say during her time no ya the petition breno. Then the question here is so petition here the bro about Puaman no. At the end of the day, did you sit on the petition and did you give Puaman the chance to explain himself? The petition itself was not heard. So the petition which wasn't heard, how can you conclude today and say because a petition was brought against Puaman when you were the Chief Justice, automatically Puaman has something against you? Ebia enambonia wakorino ene so daye. Ama ni tire boni na Torkonos every year time na ye Chief Justice no. Eno na so Torkonos daye ende. Now the question here is, were we not in this country? And they raise the issue about a year Gawu, a judge and another Danko Akuffo Ekofano edene bae so ome Supreme Court judge. People were questioning Gawu's political affiliation because Judge Gawu or a former parliamentary candidate for the NPP. This matter came to court. What did the Chief Justice say? Because at this point, the Chief Justice wants to tell us to say, because a petition was brought against Puaman during her time as a CJ, no, which we all know say that petition wasn't written by you, Torkonos. That petition wasn't written by Akuffo. That petition was written by a Ghanaian with allegations in, and that allegation at the end of the day was not verified to see say Puaman aye de na nipa ne kana na on kaye. So how can you today go to court and say on person committee na juma basu because why adwiri mu no Puaman aye den empa wasem, because at the end of the day undi Puaman body bia. You did not even sit on any petition. For somebody to just bring in a petition does not mean you, the Chief Justice Torkonos, you took a decision against Puaman to get rid of Puaman. Unless that was your intention, unless that was what you were planning to do. If that was not what you planned to do, or that wasn't your intention, then it means you basically respected Puaman's independence. You did not care about the petition. You only cared about the independence when it comes to the job. Because you told us the same thing when Gawu, Torkonos kachire say, Gawu na Ghana for Ekasa or your MPP former minister no, parliamentary candidate no, he cannot be moved to the Supreme Court because of his affiliation. Not just an affiliation, because he contested on the ticket of the party in power. This was the argument the Chief Justice made. Time I had the case in the bar court. The argument, let's listen to the Chief Justice when that issue was raised.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin took aim at the judgment of the Supreme Court that stayed his ruling on those 4 seats. He asked his lawyers to file an application to get that set aside. But even before that argument will be had in court, his lawyer was on his feet in opposition to one member of the panel, Justice Yao Enesgayu.
He was known to be associated with the New Patriotic Party. And in fact, he was a parliamentary candidate in one of their constituencies in the Volta region.
I think you said enough.
Very well. And
Yes.
I just want to demonstrate from, especially again.
No, I think you said enough.
From the
I think you
proceedings
said
that-
no. I think you said enough. Kindly resume this.
Very well, Malik.
After listening to the arguments on both sides, the Supreme Court, the 5-member panel, did not agree with Ťr0uble, lawyer for the Speaker, that Justice Yao Ns Gayeu should recuse himself from the case.
This court must take judicial notice of the fact that within the ranks of the Superior Court is a former Member of Parliament for the National Democratic Congress, a former General Secretary of the People's National Convention. The subject matter of this suit before this court is a constitutional dispute and not a matter involving political parties. The objection is therefore misconceived. This court must take judicial notice of the fact that within the ranks of the Superior Court is a former Member of Parliament for the National Democratic Congress, a former General Secretary of the People's National Convention. The subject matter of this suit before this court is a constitutional dispute and not a matter involving political parties. The objection is therefore misconceived.
This is Madam Torkonos. Time Albert Bagbin mo case the court to say, Mr. Gau, MPP parliamentary candidates, and the other Supreme Court so. Torkonos etna case so the catch Ghana for the say. Gau Sebio a seminar at the court done national. A constitutional dispute, and that any political parties are seminar yeka. 81, she recognized say, as soon as the court no, na if a constitutional na nenya political party asem, meaning Gau has the constitutional right to be a judge on the Supreme Court bench, and that it is not about his political affiliation. Because we are looking at the constitution. The law is the law. It is not about party which he was part of. Internet Torkonos catch Ghana for say, fine. Gau MPP ni. Gau a contesting as a member of parliament. Gau CPP ni or PNC ni. Yenim se or politics pa. Nemum. Court hanotino. A constitution one sem na oka. A constitution edena ba. A constitution won some and original so did the Juma, name and your political party. Now the question here today is Poaman, today as we speak, the matter in front of us is a constitutional matter. It is a Poaman Kra Ako restaurant. Now a question NDC ni oho. Now only NDC no atun say didi. Now or NDC lawyer. At the end of the day, what is in front of the committee is a constitutional matter and not a political party issue. Into your case in court today, say we should get rid of Poaman and other people because you believe, say, they are politically affiliated or politically affiliated. You know, it does not come in here. Meaning, even your basis for going to court, you know, you have breached the constitution. Because if you sat in court and told us to say, Gau, it does not matter the political party or what. The political party he basically led or contested in their name.
All right, Abushia, teachers winning some ekoso or political highway, so I just say. Ťr0uble ne lawyer wafano Godfred Odame former attorney general Abushia ne ho aka petitions ako kan General Legal Council in Sa or Motre say, Aya da petitions no, Niomabu or Mususu say, Godfred Dame Attorney General, say, or ya, and Shequem, Tomonche, petitions in Natche, Embra, Intimine Godfred or Dame, and I said Godfred Dame, India Bushia, and some course were hiring a Sunday, Natche say, I'm not Edene. It's no better Bessia, Madame, some penny me good in some course or political highway, so aha, POG Media, Madam Massey.